Two officers responded separately to a domestic disturbance near Central and Baseline in South Phoenix. The victim was combative and it turned into a brief scuffle. At some point through all this, the family dog was shot and killed, and the moments later, the unarmed victim was shot too.
Killed him for no reason. They just shot him.
The emotional mother of 29-year-old Daniel Rodriguez. The two were having an argument yesterday when she called 911. Officer Richard Chrisman and another officer responded. She gave them permission to go inside.
I said, don't hurt him. Whatever you do, don't hurt him. And not even a minute later, we heard the shots. They went in there, I gave them permission to go in there, and they killed him.
According to police, when the officers entered the home, the 29-year-old told them to leave, saying they needed a warrant. Officer Chrisman then pulled out his gun, put it to the man's head, and said, "I don't need no warrant," followed by an expletive. Then it turned into a heated argument and scuffle. The victim was tased twice. Chrisman allegedly shot and killed the family dog, then shot and killed Rodriguez as the two argued.
It's extremely unusual for our department to have this kind of a situation.
Chief Jack Harris tried to calm nerves today as this killing sent shockwaves through South Phoenix and the department.
We will investigate this thoroughly, and we will do everything possible to make sure that we have the facts and that we take appropriate action based on facts.
Chrisman was booked on aggravated assault, but many are expecting that to change. Yeah, they're thinking that the charges could definitely be upgraded. Officer Chrisman has been on the force for 9 years. The chief says he's had a few disciplinary problems in the past, but nothing that would rise to this level. The other officer, who was there and watched this all happen, told investigators that as he watched this, it made yesterday, quote, the worst day of his life. I'm Andrew Hasman, Fox 10 News.
Andrew, live tonight, Officer Frank Marino. He's a chairman of PLEA, the Police Officers Union. You heard all of this. What's your take on what happened?
Well, John, at this point in time, we're standing behind our officer.
Yeah, and I get that. I understand the thin blue line, but you got to admit, some of this stuff, if true, let me put up the graphic. I mean, you're talking about your first contact with a suspect, and this is what is said. He says, "I don't need no warrant," and an expletive, and pulls out a gun and allegedly puts it against this suspect's head. That's according to his partner.
That's correct, and at this point, it's what it is. It's an allegation. There's an investigation that's going on. There's actually
Frank,
two investigations.
I know all that. I get all that, but
okay.
Let's be honest here. A reasonable person would listen to that and say, that is outrageous.
They would, but we do have what's called due process. We do have civil rights, and there's also the presumption that a person is innocent until proven guilty.
Can you think of a scenario, Frank, where that would be warranted? And again, this is from his partner. This is from his own partner.
Right, I understand. But there's two sides to every story. We're only at this point getting one side of the story. And until the investigation's complete, we just have to let justice run its course.
Okay. Sergeant Virgilio, he is a 14-year veteran. He is the partner who was with him that day. He was out on the call. He called it the worst day of his life. And he said at no point did he feel threatened by this guy. The guy was unarmed, and he did not understand why this officer pulled out a gun.
Okay, well, I don't know all the dynamics of the situation or the specifics of the situation, but these situations are very dynamic. And there was obviously, Officer Chrisman had initial contact with him, and based on what he felt, his actions, he did what he felt was justified and necessary at the time.
Yeah, we'll sort it out.
So,
let me throw something at you. I know you're aware we did a piece called Cops in Color earlier in the year where we explored some of the dynamics in the minority community with police. I want to play you this from ASU Professor Matthew Whitaker talking about excessive force. This was during our series, Cops in Color.
I think we must admit that there are some with Napoleon complexes that view people in the community as wards and view them with suspicion and almost like enemy combatants. And those may be small numbers of people, but their actions stick with people.
Frank, how much does this trouble you that this paints other good officers with a bad brush?
It troubles me a great deal because the majority of people that are in the law enforcement profession are in the profession for the right reasons. They want to do the right thing, you know, and like anything else, they draw people for our job from society. Are there people that get through the system Are there bad apples? Yes, but I would venture to say that the majority of rank-and-file police officers are professional about what they do.
I would not disagree with that. I wholeheartedly agree. Let me ask you about Richard Chrisman, the officer involved here. You guys bonded him out as the police organization. Has he said anything to you about what happened?
I have not spoken to him personally, and you know, any conversation with him, it would be confidential.
Yeah, I get that. Okay.
So,
one more thing. As you go through this, you've got this already with the Mike Johnson issue, the city councilman with the city of Phoenix, who was taken down by an officer at a house fire. That's what led up to a lot of this stuff going on in the minority community. It reignited that debate. Are you concerned you may have trouble because of this?
I think if officers maintain a professional attitude and they keep the overall big picture in mind, I don't think it should be an issue. Like I said, the majority of officers out there that work in the street, they're professional. Again, like I said, you know, a lot of it has to do with experience.
He's a 9-year veteran, though, Frank. This guy's a 9-year veteran.
Right, I understand. I'm not speaking on behalf of him. I'm speaking on behalf of some of the other officers. Like I said, the main thing is officers need to be professional, and I agree with that.
One more thing. One more thing. Would you be comfortable with murder charges in a case like this if what we have been told is true?
John, I don't have all the facts, so I wouldn't be able to make that decision or make that comment.
Well, I appreciate you coming on tonight, Frank. I appreciate it.